Okay, what's good everyone? So today I will be giving away how I come up with content ideas for my personal brand, and these are two different ways, by the way. So whichever one fits for you, go with it. These are proven, these have done me so well in the past and they still work to this day. So that hopefully when you apply these two different ways of content ideas, you come up with A, unlimited content ideas so you don't have a headache. B, you create powerful content that draws the type of people you want to attract to your brand much easier and much more effectively than your competitors. And C, provides you clarity and hopefully, what would have taken a 40-minute process only takes 20 minutes so that you can focus your time on things better suited to make you move forward for your business. So things that move the needle. So before we get into this, if you don't know me, my name is Matt Jacob. I run a coaching business helping entrepreneurs grow and monetize their personal brands so that they can live the life that they desire. And if you want to reach out to me one-on-one or, shoot me a DM, just go over to my Instagram at the Matt Jacob and we can talk through there. But let's get into the video. I'm going to be doing the whiteboard today. So this should be very value packed. So the first way I come up with unlimited content ideas is I write the problems and desires of my dream person, and there's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with your dream person. Now I will make a video on this, but if you haven't watched my older videos, I always talk about how you need to have one person in mind, not necessarily a target audience where you're trying to speak to a bunch of people with a bunch of different needs, but you just label them in a certain niche. You want to be talking to one person because the reality is on the other side of your screen and their screen is just one person. Speak to your dream person and write down all their problems and desires. So let's take me for an example. Personal branding. I want to speak to a guy who struggles with personal branding. Now you might be okay, cool. But we want to go into more detail with that because the more detail you go into, the more tailored your marketing is going to be to that person, the more likely they're going to be a loyal follower. So let's go into more detail with this. So struggles with personal branding. Okay, what do they struggle with? Exactly. Maybe it's overthinking. What kind of overthinking? They overthink whether to post something or not. Or they overthink what to post or what format to post. Like, should I be posting as a reel or a carousel? Things that you don't need to overthink, they're overthinking. And the reason I know this so well is because I used to be this person. Okay, everything I'm writing on this board right now in point A means it's basically who I was a couple years ago. So overthinking, don't know what to post, they're worried about what their friends or peers from school or family would think if they started posting what they're truly passionate about instead of blending in with the crowd. What else? So you get the point here. So in point A, you want to write down all the struggles, all the pains, everything about their current situation in as much detail as you possibly can. And this works like a charm if you're targeting people with their content, if you're monetizing in such a way that you're kind of like speaking to your younger self. So I know right now I'm speaking to my younger self. These are the things that I went through, but you get the point. A to B. B is essentially their desires. Where do they want to end up? What's their desired situation? What would their dream life look like? What would a dream day look like? What would they be most proud of overcoming? What would they tell their friends and basically their followers things that they overcome, and what would they be proud of the most? So really things in the future oriented. So examples would be a cult-like personal brand, which is what I help people do, essentially. A cult-like personal brand, let's say they want tons of followers, tons of engagement. They want to be respected not just amongst peers and family members and people they know in person. They want to be respected in their community, in their online community, in their niche, amongst friends and family, and their community and niche. You know, it's because it's a basic desire, it's a core desire. Everyone wants to be respected in some way, shape, or form. What else? They want to just be able to, like this video is going to help you right now, they want to be able to come up with content ideas on the fly. They don't want to think anymore whether to post something or not. They want to shrink it down to a 3-second decision and not feel any sort of bad emotions about it. So I don't want to make this video too long, but I'd suggest you do this exercise. Go into as much detail as possible, because that's only going to do good things for your brand moving forward. And then the whole point as to why I drew this card is because what your offer is, or what your brand is going to be, is to help get said person from point A to point B. It's going to be the vehicle to get them from point A to point B. It's going to be a vehicle of getting them from struggling with their personal branding, overthinking, worrying about what friends and people would think of them, maybe even anxiety, camera shyness, don't know how to monetize, all these things. And again, this is for my offer. You have to come up with your own based on your offer, your niche, whatever you want to do with your content, right? All the successful content creators know this. They know who they're targeting, they know their current situation inside out, and then their content acts as the bridge or the vehicle to get them to desired situation. And that doesn't just go for entrepreneurship, that even goes for entertainers and comedians. The people who you laugh at their videos on YouTube, people you find funny, whether they know they're doing it consciously or not, they know that their viewer is in situation A. They're having a bad day probably, or their day just been very mediocre, it's not been exciting, and then they want to get them to point B where their day is much better, they're laughing a lot, they're having fun, they're in a good mood, and that's literally it transcends from different industries. Everyone's doing this, everyone successful is doing this one way or another, so keep that in mind. That's the first way. And the way you come up with content, let's bring this back down to earth here, is, wait, let's add this as well. And the way this comes up with content, the way this helps you come up with content ideas, is you can just take one of these bullet points and make an entire post about it. Okay, that's why I said go into more detail, go into as much detail as you can, because you can just take this entire bullet point and make a post about how do you stop worrying about what other people think of you while you're starting your personal branding journey. I could take something from point B, one of their core desires. How do I help you build a cult-like personal brand? And luckily enough, I have a YouTube video based around that title, so go check it out. How do I get more engagement? How do I come up with content ideas on the fly? You see where this is going? So everyone's got core problems, everyone's got desires. Now, that's cool and all. This works for a lot of people, this is gonna work for you. Now the second way I come up with content ideas, and this is what I use if, let's say I had a crappy night's sleep, or I have massive brain fog and I just don't know what to do. Okay, or I'm at a point where I want to make the best content I possibly can this week. I want to really knock it out of the park. If that fits into your criteria, use this. Get ready. Way number 2, stream of consciousness journaling and silence. So before you click off this video saying this is extremely woo, this has gone extremely spiritual, very quickly, don't click off just yet. And I want you to be open to this, okay? Stream of consciousness journaling. A friend told me, a friend basically recommended it to me because he said that the one thing that's helped him the most, because he was I think he had like severe anxiety, in a really crappy spot a couple of years ago to now. And the one thing that he said attributed to that transformation is journaling. And he said it actually helped more than meditation. So I was like, okay, why don't we try this? If it helps more than meditation, then it's got to be something worthwhile checking out. So stream of consciousness journaling. Ideally, you'd be doing this on paper, but for the video's sake, I'm gonna do it on the laptop. So this is how you do it to come up with content ideas. You set an intention, and okay, stream it. I'll just explain what it is. You get a piece of paper, you set a timer for like 10 minutes, and then you just write everything that's on your mind. Do not stop, don't make any adjustments, don't cross out any words. Write down everything on your mind onto the paper. Spill everything, and by the end of those 10 minutes, you'll look at that paper. You'll cringe sometimes because, it's unfiltered. You'll be thinking, what the hell? Why is this on the paper? It's weird. But other times you'll come up with some pretty genius ideas. So that's the whole point of using stream of consciousness journaling to come up with content ideas, is things that we filter too much with our thinking brain, that if we just bypass that filter, we come up with some pretty amazing content ideas. So the way we do this is you set an intention first. You write on the top of the paper, I would like to come up with valuable content ideas for X person, so you can put their name if you've attached a name to them. I would like to come up with valuable content ideas for X person, then set a timer. Then start writing and do not stop. Make sure your pen does not leave the paper. This is very important. Make sure you're not kicking that filter in, letting it kick in, and making any adjustments. This is called stream of consciousness for a reason. Then you set a 10 to even 30-minute timer, and you just don't stop writing. And by the end of it, you'll have a few pages. You have that intention in mind, and you basically came up with content ideas for the whole week or whole month, depending on how long you've done it or how skilled you are. Actually, I'll take that back. You don't need skill to do this. You don't need any skill to do this. So let's just do a quick demonstration for the viewer. I'm gonna set it for 2 minutes because I want to keep this video short, but you're gonna get the point here. I think that's going okay. So I'm going to be writing whatever comes to mind. Oops, I made an adjustment. This is why I would put it on a piece of paper instead of typing, because you will unconsciously delete certain points and you can see this happen right now. I am going to start typing whatever content ideas come to mind, so that next time you take a look at my YouTube channel, you will come back for more value and information that changes your life, your perspective, and your thoughts. This is so weird, but I know it's gonna help. Oh, Jesus Christ. A lot of people. This is why you should write it down, because you will make deletions. I thought of a content idea just now, and it is to remove the filter in your brain and how to do so. Okay, so turn this off. As you can see here, it does not make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You look at it and you're thinking, what the hell, man? You're better than this. So that's the whole point, though. If it looks like this, then you know you did something right. And you know how I kept saying how you should do it on a piece of paper? This is why. It's going to be weird. You're typing faster than you can think, so a lot of BS comes out of your mouth. But I actually came up with a content idea that I might film sometime in the future now, that all thanks to this exercise. I'm telling you, you should try this if you haven't tried it yet. And that was how to remove the filter in your brain. Because I know younger me used to have this awful filter where only I had to say the right things at the right time, and then that would only be good content, right? So I will make a video on how to remove the filter in your brain and how to do so. But as you can see, most of this is just crap, and that's okay. And bearing in mind, I only did this for 2 minutes. You need to do it for 10 minutes at least. So that's a fun one. Go ahead and try it. And again, I'd say if you try this, if you just had a really crappy night's sleep, if you have brain fog, if you just can't think of any content ideas, even if you've gone for a walk to clear your head and you still can't come up with content ideas, I'd try this. Okay, there's a lot of things that go on in our mind that we miss. The other thing you can do if you want to take it up a notch is meditation / silence. So as you know, I'm a big advocate for meditation. I do it almost every day, and it's changed my life for the better. And I can go into another video about this, but 10 to 30 minute meditation where instead of thinking of ideas, you let the ideas come to you. And what that basically looks like is, what most of us are doing is this. This is what most of us are doing. This is you. And when you try and think of content ideas, you go outwards. You direct your thoughts outwards. You're trying to find things in your surroundings, or you're trying to look into your thoughts or memories as to ways to come up with content ideas, right? And the problem is you miss all these different angles. You see these gaps? You're really limiting it's almost like you're forming walls between other options, other perspectives of different types of content you can make. So to bring it back down to earth, you see how you're kind of like, you're shooting a straight line and then you come up with content idea, but you missed this whole gap of opportunity where you could have come up with other content ideas which could have been even better. So you're really missing out on these gaps here. That's what most of us do. What meditation is here to do to help us come up with content ideas is to essentially let the ideas come to us. And this is up to you. If you believe in a higher power, that's cool. I think there is a higher power out there that's guiding us, and we don't even know about it. If you believe in God, cool. But what I'm trying to get across here is, if you meditate and you just sit in silence, you go into what's called a receptive state, where the universe can send you ideas. So as soon as you get an idea, write it down. It's the same way we get shower thoughts. You're in the shower, you're just doing your thing, probably listening to music, probably not, but all of a sudden you get the light bulb go off and you think of an idea. Maybe it's a way you could have responded to an argument 5 years ago, right? It could be something as stupid as that. Or it could be coming up with a name for your business. Things that happen by intuition. And we want to tap into the intuitive side of us because it's a beautiful thing. So meditation, you're going to sit here in silence 10 to 30 minutes, even more if you want, 10 to 30 minutes. And then what's going to happen is you're going to focus on your breath, and then all of a sudden, you may be 2 minutes in, 7 minutes in, different for everyone, you're going to go, bam. content idea. And you won't know where you got it from, but just know this wouldn't have happened if you didn't sit in silence. Again, it's like shower thoughts. They come out of nowhere. Because you're in silence, you're in a receptive state. The universe or something is giving you all these ideas. And it's stuff, sometimes the ideas like you would have never thought of if you sat down trying to think too much about it. If you get what I'm saying, you're just letting it come to you. It's silence, and then bam, I missed it. Bam, there we go, another idea. And the longer you do it, the better you get, the more ideas you get. And it's basically content for the whole week or the whole month. And then these can be repurposed, or you can say them differently or repeat them. But let's not get into the weeds here. This is a fantastic way to come up with ideas. So try that, try those two things. And then to take it even further, if you really want to do it hardcore, do something that's called a silent retreat, where you basically you can go out of basically your city, go into a little cabin in nature, or you can do it in your own room, just for the whole day. Don't talk, don't listen to music, no dopamine, nothing. Do something called a silent retreat, where you just sit in silence. And again, this is where you're going to be in one of the most receptive states you've ever been in your life. I've never done it. I plan on doing it soon. Actually, that's a lie. I don't know when I want to do it. I'm going to be honest, because I've never done it before. But I definitely want to do it in my lifetime. Doing a silent retreat where then I'm in a super receptive state and I come up with intuitive content ideas that I would have never gotten by just thinking about it. And another thing about thinking is you get headaches, so it's not good either way. Headache. But yeah, I hope this was useful. I hope this was valuable. And more importantly, I hope you take action on these, because these are two ways that I actually use in my day-to-day. I'm basically giving away the farm, as I always do. But here especially, these are things that, this isn't theory. These are things that I do like right now in my day-to-day when I come up with content ideas. And this is what's helped me build a cult-like personal brand. You know, I don't have that many followers, let's face it. I want to get more followers, but even then, I'd say my brand is pretty cult-like. And that's not me tooting my own horn. I'm just saying, like, I've seen the proof over and over again. People love the content. So these won't work if you don't do it consistently, and you don't incorporate repetition. You got to do these over and over again, because you're gonna get better. It's gonna feel weird the first time, but trust me on this. Do either one of these. You can do both as well. It's better if you do